Have you ever noticed that the strongest man in the room is rarely the loudest? He's not the one arguing to prove he's right. He's not chasing approval. He's not reacting to every insult, every setback, or every disappointment. While everyone else is caught in emotional storms, he stands still, calm, focused, unshaken. And here's the truth that most men never realize. That kind of strength isn't something you're born with, it's built, one decision at a time. Today I want to tell you a story. Not about a warrior on a battlefield or a billionaire in a boardroom. This is the story of a man who discovered a power hidden inside every one of us. A power so underestimated that most people spend their entire lives without unlocking it. That power is emotional discipline. Imagine a man named Daniel. Like many men, Daniel believed strength meant fighting harder, speaking louder, and never backing down. Whenever someone criticized him, he fired back. Whenever life disappointed him, he complained. Whenever he failed, he blamed circumstances. At work, he reacted emotionally. In relationships, he argued endlessly. On social media, strangers controlled his mood with a single comment. Without realizing it, Daniel had handed the steering wheel of his life to everyone else. Every insult became a command. Every setback became permission to quit. Every opinion became a prison. Then one evening, after another exhausting argument with someone who barely mattered, Daniel looked at himself in the mirror. He asked one simple question. Why do people I've never respected have so much control over my emotions? The silence that followed changed his life forever. Because for the first time he realized something uncomfortable. His greatest enemy wasn't other people, it was his inability to control himself. That's when his transformation began. Not through motivation, not through revenge, through discipline. Emotional discipline isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about refusing to let feelings become your master. Most people think confidence comes first. It doesn't. Control comes first. Confidence is simply the reward. Think about the men history remembers. They weren't fearless. They weren't emotionless. They simply refused to let temporary emotions dictate permanent decisions. When panic spread, they stayed calm. When others panicked over failure, they kept working. When they were insulted, they chose silence over impulsive revenge. That's real power. Because anyone can react, very few can respond with intention. Daniel started practicing something uncomfortable. Whenever he felt angry, he waited. Whenever he wanted to argue, he listened. Whenever he felt rejected, he stayed focused on his mission instead of chasing validation. At first, it felt impossible. His emotions screamed louder than his logic. His pride demanded immediate action. His ego wanted to win every battle. But slowly, something remarkable happened. He noticed that most problems disappeared when he stopped feeding them. Arguments ended faster. Stress became lighter. People who once manipulated him lost their influence. Not because they changed, because he changed. Here's something society rarely tells men. The world profits from emotional people. An emotional customer buys things he doesn't need. An emotional employee quits without a plan. An emotional investor sells during fear. An emotional husband destroys years of trust in 5 minutes of uncontrolled anger. Emotion creates impulsive decisions. Discipline creates freedom. Think about that. Freedom isn't doing whatever you feel like doing. Freedom is having the ability to choose your actions regardless of how you feel. That's a completely different kind of power. One day, Daniel's boss unfairly blamed him for a project that had failed. Months earlier, Daniel would have exploded. He would have defended himself aggressively. He would have argued. Maybe even walked away. Instead, he stayed calm. He accepted responsibility for what was his, ignored what wasn't, improved the process. Weeks later, when leadership reviewed the situation, everyone saw the truth without Daniel needing to fight for it. His silence had more power than his anger ever could. That day, he learned another lesson. Time exposes truth far better than emotional reactions. The same principle applies everywhere. Someone rejects you, don't chase. Someone insults you, don't perform. Someone underestimates you, don't explain. Build, improve, move forward. Your life is your response, not their opinion. Many men spend years trying to control other people. They try to control how they're perceived, how they're respected, how they're loved, how they're remembered. But emotional discipline teaches something different. Control what belongs to you, your habits, your words, your reactions, your standards. Everything else is borrowed territory, and borrowed territory can never provide lasting peace. One of Daniel's biggest breakthroughs came during one of the hardest moments of his life. He lost someone he deeply loved. For weeks, grief consumed him. He cried. He questioned everything. He felt broken. But emotional discipline didn't tell him to stop feeling. It reminded him not to stop living. Every morning he got out of bed. Every day he kept moving. Not because the pain disappeared, because purpose became stronger than pain. That's what resilience actually looks like. Not pretending everything is okay. Choosing to keep going when it isn't. Modern culture often celebrates emotional expression. And expressing emotions can be healthy. But expression without discipline becomes chaos. Imagine driving a sports car with no steering wheel. That's what emotions without discipline look like. Power, without direction. Real masculinity isn't emotional suppression. It's emotional leadership. Leading yourself before trying to lead anyone else. Because your family doesn't need a man who never feels. They need a man whose feelings don't control his character. They need consistency, not perfection. The older Daniel became, the more he noticed something fascinating. People trusted calm men. Leaders followed calm men. Children felt safe around calm men. Opportunities found calm men. Not because calm is magical, because calm signals control. And control creates confidence in everyone around you. Years later, someone asked Daniel what changed his life the most. Was it reading books, making more money, changing careers, finding success? He smiled, then answered with one sentence. I stopped asking how life should treat me, and started asking how I should respond to life. That single shift changed everything. Because life will never stop testing you. There will always be criticism, failure, loss, disappointment, betrayal, uncertainty. You don't control their arrival. You control your response. And that response becomes your identity. So the next time life provokes you, pause before reacting. The next time anger rises, take one slow breath. The next time someone tries to pull you into unnecessary conflict, remember this. Your greatest victory isn't defeating another person. It's refusing to let another person defeat your peace. Because emotional discipline isn't weakness. It isn't passivity. It isn't silence born from fear. It's strength under control. It's confidence without noise. It's power that doesn't need permission. And in a world where everyone is reacting, the man who remains steady becomes impossible to ignore. Because the hidden strength of emotional discipline isn't that it changes the world around you. It's that it changes the man within you. And once that man changes, everything else begins to follow.